Now let's continue with our lecture number 4. Let's continue with this stem and leaf diagram. What is this stem and leaf diagram? It's a simple way to see distribution details in a data set. The method is here to separate the sorted data series, so meaning that data should be sorted first from lowest to highest into leading digits. The leading digits, the stem, and the trailing digits, the leaves. For example, this we encountered this sorted data before. We use this. This is ordered data array. Here, use the tens digit for the stem unit. We have the stem and we have the leaf. The tens digit, for example, for 12, the tens digit is 1, meaning this is 10. And the 2 is the leaf. The 2 is the ones, because 10 plus 2 is 12, right? And 35, the tens digit here is 3, which stands for 30, and the 5 here stands for the ones, which is just 5. 30 plus 5 is 35. Now here's the completed stem and leaf diagram. If we put them all together, for example, for the 10 category, the tens, there were 3. This represents 12 because that's 10 plus 2 is 12, and this represents 13, and this represents 7 for this first 3 data. For the 20s, we have here 21, 24, 24, 26, 27, 27. So this is 1 plus 20, because this is, remember, this is tens, which represents, this 2 here represents times 10. No, it's 20. So this is, you can read this as 21. This one, this 2 and 4, you can read it as 24. There's another 4, here's another 24. It's 26 here. 20 plus 6, and then 2 27s. For the 30s, 30, the leaf for 30 is 0. For 32, the leaf is 32, because that's already 30. And for 35, the leaf is 5. The 37, the leaf is 7. 38, the leaf is 8. For category 40s, here 41, the leaf is 1. 43, the leaf is 3. 44, the leaf is 4. 46, the leaf is 6. And for 50s, we have here 2. For 53, the leaf is 3. For 58, the leaf is 8. So here we have just the 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, which is multiplied by 10. The stem and the leaf. That's why it's called the stem and the leaves. Now in this example, if the data comes in hundreds, you can use the hundredths digit as the stem here. The 60 is 100, that will be 600, and the leaf would then be rounded off. The leaf is the tenth digit here. The tenth digit is rounded off. 13, you cannot round it off as 20 because this is only 3. It has to be 5 or more to be rounded up to 20 or 2. So this rounded down to 1 instead. In this case, 776, you have the stem, okay, 100 hundredths digit man, 700, and the 76 we could round off to 8, or round it up to 80, and so on until say 1224. The hundredths here is 12, or that will be 1200 plus the 24, that the leaf would be the tenths. When you round it off, that's only 2 because that's only 20. That's about the stem and the leaf. It's another form of distribution which kind of summarize data visually, like this. This one, summarize the sorted data. Now let's talk about graphing categorical data. Categorical data, there are 3 different kinds of graphing that we could use for categorical data. One is a pie chart. Another is a bar chart. We already have encountered them, but this one you may not have encountered yet, so watch out. Bar and pie chart. Bar and pie charts. Bar charts and pie charts are often used for qualitative or categorical data. The height of the bar or size of the pie slice shows the frequency or percentage for each category. A pie chart in itself is a graph in the shape of a circle. The circle is divided into slices corresponding to the categories or classes to be displayed. The size of each slice is proportional to the magnitude of the displayed variable associated with each category or class. Here's an example of a pie chart. Pie chart of a current investment portfolio. Types of investment: stocks, bonds, CD, savings. CD stands for certificate of deposit. It's a variant of savings, really. It's similar to savings, only that a certificate of deposit, you cannot withdraw it every time you want. It's all or nothing. I think that's what we call in the Philippines as term deposit. Term deposit. If you agree with the bank to deposit your money for 6 months, you can only withdraw that money when the 6 months expires. If you withdraw that money earlier, you would attract penalties. So CDs, certificate of deposits or term deposits, is better left to itself until the time lapses. If you agree to a 2-year deposit, then withdraw it only after 2 years. Savings is different. You have access to your money every time you want. You can withdraw it, and there's no penalty, unlike in CD or certificate of deposits. Here we have the amount in thousands of dollars: 46.5, 32, 15.5, 16, for a total of 110. And we get the percentage or proportional proportion of each entry, each variable, out of the total 110. This would be 42.27%, and this would be 29.09%. This would be 14.09%, and the savings here is 14.55%, for a total of 100%. In table, but this would be more easier to understand, doesn't it? The percentage here, 42% percentages are usually rounded up or rounded down. This is 42.27 here. Stocks is only 42, rounded up. And the pie chart looks pretty to the eye compared to this, right? Percentages are rounded to the nearest percent. Now, example 2-8 pie charts titled Gold Equipment. A survey was recently conducted of 300 golfers. And golf is this is the game of the rich people. And usually, I think only men plays this. I haven't seen women playing golf. A survey was recently conducted of 300 golfers that asked questions about the impact of new technology on the game. So, high-tech na ta karon. Golf is kung siya manual man gid na siya nga dula. One question asked the golfers to indicate which area of golf equipment is most responsible for improving an amateur golfer's game, and the following data were obtained. Equipment frequency: golf ball frequency 81, meaning 81 respondents says that it's in the golf ball where the amateur golfers would find improvement. Then club head material 66, shaft material 63, club head size 63, and shaft length 3. And while the rest of 24 respondents said they don't know. Now, to display these data in pie chart form, use the following steps. Step 1, define the categories. The categories are the 6 equipment response categories. These are the categories: golf ball, club head material, shaft material, club head size, shaft length, and don't know. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 6 categories. Then step 2, determine the appropriate measure. The appropriate measure is the proportion of the golfers surveyed. The proportion for each category is determined by dividing the number of golfers in a category by the total sample size. For example, for the category golf ball, the percentage is 81 divided by 30. No, 81 divided by 300, which gives us 0.27 or 27%. And you compute the appropriate measure for each of those 6 categories. Now, step 3, construct the pie chart. The pie chart is constructed by dividing a circle into 6 slices, 1 for each category, such that each slice is proportional to the percentage of golfers in the category. Here, golf equipment impact. Mm, 27% said that for amateur golfers, they should do something with their golf ball, get a good one. And while 22% said that it's the club head material, what the club head material is made of makes the difference. Here, another 21% of the respondents said it's the shaft material, it's the stick. And another 21% said it's the size of the club head, while 1% said that it's the length of the shaft, it's the length of the stick that they use to hit the ball with, while the remaining 8% said that they don't know. Now let's go to bar chart. What's a bar chart? A bar chart it is a graphical representation of a categorical data set in which a rectangle or bar is drawn over each category or class. The length or height of each bar represents the frequency or percentage of observations or some other measure associated with the category. The bars may be vertical or horizontal. The bars may all be the same color, or they may be different colors depicting different categories. Additionally, multiple variables can be graphed on the same bar chart. Example, investor's portfolio from the data we have previously. For savings, for certificate of deposit, bonds, and stocks. Or the much earlier newspaper readership per week from, I think this was from lecture 2 or lecture 1. Now, a business application for developing bar charts. This is about new car sales. The automobile industry is a significant part of the US, Japanese, and German economies. When car sales are up, the economies of these countries are also up, and vice versa. Table 2.8 displays data showing the total number of cars sold in April 2008 by the 6 largest automobile companies in the world. Although the table format is informative, a graphical presentation is often desirable because the car sales data are characterized by car company. A bar chart would work well in this instance. So we have General Motors, Ford, Toyota, Chrysler, Honda, Nissan. When the numbers table is turned into bar chart, it turns something like this. Where it's the GM or General Motors can be visually seen as it's easy to detect the differences visually. Now about tabulating and graphing multivariate categorical data. Multivariate. Here, this again is the investment portfolio in thousands of dollars. When we talk about, we have here, just for our example, we have three investors. Investor A, B, and C, for their combined total for stocks 129, for bonds 95, for certificate of deposit 90, total of 99, and for savings a total of 51. For investor A, the total is 110. Investor B, total is 147, and the total for investor C is 67.0, for a grand total of 324. Now, graphing the three variables under the same categories, three investors under the same category, category savings, CD, bonds, and stocks. And this is for investor C, the gray, investor B, the orange, and investor A, the blue. So visually we can easily tell which one is higher or which one is lower. Again, side by side, another example, sales by quarter for 3 sales territories. First quarter, second quarter, third quarter, fourth quarter. And for the east, for the East Territory, for West Territory, and North Territory. Remember class, this is a time series data because this is time, quarter. Quarter is like 3 months. For 4 quarters, that's 12 months. So graphing the 4 quarters, 4 quarter data gives us this, which the East Territory is obviously gives the highest, while the North, we can easily tell that it is not really fluctuating much. Its sale is more or less consistent, while the West, the green, is somewhat fluctuating. Now this will be your some of your lab exercises. For 2-24, the following data reflect the percentages of employees with different levels of education. Educational level, this is can be our category, and the percentage. Less than high school graduate, there were 18 respondents. High school graduate, 34 respondents. Some college, 14. College graduate, 30. Graduate degree, 4, for a total of 100. Now, the task here is A, develop a pie chart to illustrate these data, and B, develop a horizontal bar chart to illustrate the same data. You will do this in your lab later. This one as well, drill 2. The number of branded retail outlets for Murphy Oil Corporation as of December 31 of each year from 2001 to 2007 are shown below here. This is time series data, and this would be cross-sectional data. So develop a chart that effectively compares the number of branded retail outlets in North America with the number in the United Kingdom. North America, United Kingdom. Remember this, you will make a graph that compares branded retail outlets in North America, in the US mainly, and in the United Kingdom. Now let's talk about line charts and scatter diagrams. Line charts show values of one variable versus time, where time is traditionally shown on the horizontal axis, and the value of the variable on the vertical axis. Whereas a scatter diagrams show points for bivariate data, where one variable is measured on the vertical axis and the other variable is measured on the horizontal axis. Here, an example of a line chart. Others call this a polygraph or a line chart. This is a time series, actually time series, because this is year from 1985 to 2002, and these are the corresponding inflation rate for each year from 1985 to 2002, and the graph looks like this. From 1985 it went down and went up. From 1986 to 87 went up, keep climbing until 1990, and then it dropped again, more or less continually dropped until it hit the lowest in 1998, and climb again and down again. US inflation rate. It's easy here to see the trend, the going up and the going down, up and down fluctuation of the inflation rate. Where scatter diagram, it's volume per day and cost per day. Volume versus cost. Now, most graph, or what they call curve or lines, would indicate some relationships between the variables. In this case, the relationships between the x and the y variables. Here, these are examples of linear relationships, where for each unit of x, there is also approximately the same unit of y. If x increase, y also increase, and they more or less increase at the same rate. Usually, if you draw a line here, the line is straight, and the same here. If you average the dots, more or less the line would be straight. That's a linear relationships. And there's another relationship between two variables. Here is a curvilinear relationships. It's still linear, but it curves. Clearly not a straight. It prescribes a curve. Much more here. The curve is more clear, more pronounced. These are examples of curvilinear relationships. Curvilinear. Well, this here doesn't show any relationship. Especially this here, it seems that the dots just there's no pattern as to the direction of the trend, or is there any trend at all? Now we have reached near the end of the chapter. Data in raw form, unprocessed, usually unsorted, are usually not easy to use for decision making. It's hard to tell. It's hard to make a decision if the data is unprocessed, if it is raw. Some type of organization is needed, which means making a table, putting them into a table or matrix, or using graphs, producing graphs from those data to make visual sense out of what's going on. What can the data tell the decision maker? Now, the techniques we reviewed in this chapter are frequency distributions and histograms, as well as bar charts and pie charts, stem and leaf diagrams, as well as line charts and scatter diagrams. These are the techniques that we reviewed that are used to summarize the trend of data, to present um, what's going on as far as the data can tell, so that the decision maker may have some hint as to what's going on and what might be in the future, and so the manager could at least decide what to do or react to what's going on. And thanks for listening. I hope you understand. If there's something that you did not understand, you could review, you could replay, and you could go back to that portion and replay. And there's also not only the slide is available to you from the LMS. I provided the link there from my first announcement, the welcome notes. There's a link there that takes you to a Google Drive folder, and you can download the entire folder and subfolders, and all the informations, all the resources you need for this subject is found there. Even the slide that I'm using can be found there also. So class, that's it for the 4th lecture, and see you again soon.